Let me start by saying that I am not a writer. I don't have a way with words or a large vocabulary, but I feel like I need to share my story, to warn others, to let them know what happened on that fateful hiking trip. It all started when my friend Sarah suggested that we go hiking. She said it would be a great bonding experience and a chance to get away from the stresses of everyday life. I had never been hiking before, but Sarah assured me that it would be easy and fun. So, against my better judgment, I agreed to go. We arrived at the trail in the early morning, excited and full of energy. As we started our hike, I couldn't help but notice the quietness of the forest. The only sounds were our footsteps and the occasional rustling of leaves in the breeze. It felt peaceful and calming. We continued on our hike, taking in the beauty of the nature around us. But as the day went on, I started to feel uneasy. It was as if someone or something was watching us. I kept looking over my shoulder, but there was never anyone there. I tried to brush off my uneasiness and enjoy the hike, but as the sun started to set, I couldn't shake off the feeling of dread. Sarah noticed my change in mood and asked if I was okay. I didn't want to worry her, so I just said I was tired and we should set up camp for the night. We found a clearing and set up our tent, and Sarah started a fire. As we sat around the fire, roasting marshmallows, I couldn't shake off the feeling that we were not alone. I kept hearing strange noises in the distance, but Sarah said it was probably just animals. But as the night went on, the noises got louder and closer. I could almost swear I heard footsteps coming towards our camp. I told Sarah that we should leave, but she laughed it off and said I was being paranoid. But then, we heard a blood-curdling scream from the direction of the trail we had hiked earlier. Sarah looked at me, her face drained of color. We both knew we had to get out of there. We quickly packed up our things and started to make our way back to the trail. But as we were walking, I noticed something strange. The trees all seemed to be getting closer together, almost as if they were trying to block our path. I told Sarah what I saw, but she assured me it was just my imagination. But then we heard another scream, this time coming from behind us. We both turned around and saw a figure lurking in the shadows. It was tall and dark, with glowing red eyes. It seemed to be floating towards us, effortlessly gliding through the trees. We both screamed and ran in the opposite direction. My heart was pounding in my chest, and my legs felt like they were going to give out at any moment. But we couldn't stop. We had to keep running. We eventually stumbled upon an abandoned cabin. It looked old and run down, but it was our only chance of survival. We quickly barricaded ourselves inside and waited for morning to come. But the night was far from over. The creature that was chasing us seemed to be circling the cabin, taunting us with its inhuman screeches. We were trapped, with no way of escaping or calling for help. The next morning, when it was finally light out, we cautiously made our way back to the trail, but what we saw made our blood run cold. The trail we had hiked the day before was no longer there. It was as if it had vanished into thin air. We finally made it back to civilization, but we were forever changed by our terrifying experience. We never spoke of it again, and we never went hiking again. I may not be a writer, but I hope my story serves as a warning to others. Be careful when you go hiking. You never know what horror may be lurking in the shadows of the forest. And always trust your instincts. They may just save your life.